You know, if you look at an interview from me from 10 years ago, everybody says, I love that interview. People didn't love it back then, though, because I was speaking to the future. I'm 10 years ahead mentally, and I'm trapped in today's time. And every now and then I crack you a smile for 2013, but I'm cracking you a frown for 2023. And I'm focused on what it's going to be. Just mark my words. As I'm Kanye West, you seen my execution.
Please don't sit him at my head. Just call me.
When are we finally going to have a real conversation about whether or not Rihanna...
They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
No, you, man.
But they can't control me.
That's because Jay-Z worked so fucking hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started her and signed to the Def Jam. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean.
The situation surrounding Rihanna is spiraling into something far darker than anyone first believed. New whispers coming out of Hollywood circles suggest the chaos may not have been random at all. According to insiders, the woman who pulled the trigger might have been nothing more than a pawn, a psychological decoy placed exactly where someone needed her to be. And now, of all people, Kanye West is sounding the alarm. He's reportedly urging Rihanna to stay on extreme alert, warning that the people who came for her once may not be finished. Even more shocking are the names now being dragged into the conversation. Allegedly, the forces behind this could trace back to none other than Beyoncé and the empire surrounding Roc Nation. For years, rumors have quietly circulated that Beyoncé and Rihanna were never truly on good terms. The whispers all trace back to the same explosive allegation that Jay-Z once crossed a line with Rihanna behind the scenes. Some claim their relationship turned intimate, that the mogul allegedly slept with the young star and left behind more than just gossip. According to long-standing rumors, whatever happened between them supposedly spiraled into a situation that later affected Chris Brown as well. But even with all the drama that's followed those rumors over the years, nobody imagined the tension could escalate to something this sinister. The idea that Beyoncé could despise Rihanna enough to allegedly orchestrate something violent feels almost unbelievable, yet that's exactly the narrative now exploding online. And the story only grows more disturbing the deeper people dig. Beyoncé has already been tied, at least in rumor circles, to another dark chapter involving one of Jay-Z's alleged past mistresses, Kathy White. Kathy's sudden death years ago sparked endless speculation, and interestingly enough, Kanye West was one of the earliest voices publicly suggesting Beyoncé might have known more than she ever admitted. At the time, many dismissed his claims as wild conspiracy. But now that Rihanna's terrifying incident has surfaced, those old accusations are being dragged back into the spotlight. Coincidence, or something far more unsettling? Many people online are convinced it's not a coincidence at all. By now, most people have heard about the terrifying moment that nearly changed everything. Rihanna reportedly came frighteningly close to losing her life when a woman named Ivana Ortiz allegedly drove all the way from Florida to Los Angeles with one purpose: to pull up outside Rihanna's home and start shooting. What many don't realize is just how dangerously close the situation became. Reports claim Rihanna and her children were inside the Airstream trailer parked on the property at the time. One of the bullets reportedly tore straight through the metal shell of that trailer. Just one shot closer, and the outcome might have been devastating. That's how close Ivana allegedly came to hitting her target. The aftermath was immediate and chilling. Rihanna didn't simply pack up and relocate to another property like most celebrities might after a scare. Instead, she reportedly vanished completely, leaving the state and relocating to a secret location known only to a small circle of trusted people. Sources claim she didn't run because she was afraid of one unstable person. She ran because she believed someone powerful was pulling the strings behind the scenes. Yes, the internet has been flooded with videos of Ivana appearing unhinged on social media, ranting, calling Rihanna a witch, and acting erratic in front of cameras. But some observers believe those clips may be serving another purpose entirely. According to certain rumors circulating online, the footage could be amplifying the crazy lone attacker narrative to distract from a darker possibility: that the woman was allegedly paid and manipulated into carrying out a hit meant to eliminate Rihanna permanently. One commentator even argued that Rihanna fleeing the state is the biggest clue of all. If the threat were just one unstable fan, they said, Rihanna would simply increase security or move to another mansion. Instead, she disappeared completely. To them, that signals she may believe someone powerful sent that woman to her home. And as the speculation spreads, certain names keep surfacing again and again. Some people online have boldly accused Jay-Z of being involved. Others have gone even further, suggesting A$AP Rocky might somehow be connected, though many observers have questioned why his name would be dragged into it at all. Still, the loudest accusations continue pointing toward Jay-Z and Beyoncé, especially Beyoncé. And those pointing fingers claim they have their reasons. According to long-standing gossip within the industry, Beyoncé allegedly has a history of targeting women who were romantically connected to Jay-Z in the past. And the story everyone always circles back to is the rumored relationship between Jay-Z and Rihanna during the early years of his relationship with Beyoncé. That alleged affair has been whispered about for years, a secret chapter many believe created a silent rivalry that never truly faded.
Wright explained how Rihanna was sold to Jay-Z at 16 years old. She explained how it was super sketchy that Rihanna got brought to America at only 16 years old without any parental supervision, and how she auditioned for Jay-Z at 3 o'clock in the morning. She explained how it didn't make sense that Rihanna's parents would let her fly by herself after just meeting Evan Roberts all the way to America to meet with Jay-Z in the middle of the night. And she alleged that Rihanna's dad got a $500,000 payout for letting this happen. She alleged since this was all out of the blue, Rihanna would have had to flown on a private plane to get from Barbados to America because she wouldn't have had a visa and her parents were not around with her to fly to America. And Rihanna even explained how Jay-Z would not let her leave until she signed the recording contract, and the label locked her in the office until 3 a.m.
It's gone true. So tell me about your audition with Jay-Z. Tell me what he said to you.
A really good audition.
Yes.
But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure working with Jay-Z, you've met Beyoncé.
That's right.
How was it like meeting her?
I could not speak.
Really?
Really. That's someone I really looked up to for a long time. And it was after one of my showcases, and he was introducing me to everyone from the label. Then he finally said, okay, one more person. And there she was. And I could not speak.
And she gave you some advice.
Yes, she did. She just told me to, when I get on stage, let loose, have fun, and be in control.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to let it go.
No.
Because she'd be like, what? You know how she does it.
And it is pretty weird because Jay-Z just started talking to Beyoncé as soon as she turned 18 years old. And not long after Rihanna signed to Jay-Z, there was rumors swirling all over the media that Jay-Z was cheating on Beyoncé with Rihanna. And a lot of people still to this day never understood why Rihanna and Beyoncé are not close, and we've never got a collaboration with the two of them, even though Rihanna was claimed one of Jay-Z's biggest stars. Jaguar Wright then went on to allege how Rihanna's last album, Anti, was basically a cry for help. She talked about how creepy it was that Rihanna did the album cover of a child with a crown over her eyes. And it says that the Anti album is about a person opposed to a particular...
We gotta have a real conversation about whether or not Rihanna was to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look
She
at
was
her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl.
With no parental consent.
With no parental, nobody. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference.
According to certain rumors floating around online, the reason Beyoncé supposedly never confronted Rihanna earlier was because she allegedly lacked solid proof that anything actually happened between Rihanna and Jay-Z. For years, it remained nothing more than whispers and speculation. But now, some people believe that new information may have surfaced, evidence that finally confirmed what Beyoncé may have feared all along. And if those rumors are to be believed, she allegedly decided she wasn't going to ignore it anymore. Many people on the internet were surprisingly quick to accept that theory. And the reason traces back to a story that has haunted Jay-Z's reputation for years, the mysterious case of his alleged former mistress, Kathy White. Kathy, who was rumored to have been pregnant at one point, suddenly died right as she was reportedly preparing to reveal her alleged relationship with Jay-Z to the public. Official reports claimed she passed away from a brain aneurysm, but the timing immediately raised eyebrows. To critics and conspiracy-minded observers, it looked less like a tragic medical event and more like something far more suspicious. What makes the situation even stranger is that Kanye West had previously tried to warn people about this exact kind of pattern. Years ago, he openly hinted that Jay-Z and Beyoncé might have been connected to mysterious deaths surrounding certain individuals. At the time, most people brushed it off as another one of Kanye's wild rants. The internet laughed it off, the media dismissed it, and the story faded into the background. But now, with these old rumors resurfacing again, some people are starting to look back at Kanye's words in a very different light. Back in 2017, a journalist named Liz Crokin posted a tweet that caught attention for repeating part of Kanye's claims. Her message suggested that when Kanye said Jay-Z had people who would take care of things, he might have been referring to what happened to Kathy White. The tweet stirred controversy at the time, but it didn't stop there. Recently, Liz resurfaced online with another message, this time going even further and claiming she knew more details about the situation than she had originally revealed. She pointed directly at Jay-Z in a fiery post, saying she had personally spoken to Kathy White shortly before the woman died. Liz claimed she knew the truth about what happened and warned that justice would eventually come out. Her post even suggested that powerful figures in the entertainment industry might eventually face consequences for what she believes occurred. The message quickly spread across social media, reigniting debates that had been buried for years. What made things even more unsettling for people following the story was what happened next. Shortly after Liz began speaking publicly about Kathy White again, many of the old online articles discussing the case reportedly started disappearing from the internet. Links that once worked suddenly led to empty pages. Archived reports vanished. To some observers, it looked like someone might have been quietly scrubbing the story before it could gain traction again. But by that point, it was already too late to erase everything. Several blogs and gossip sites had previously saved screenshots and copies of the original reports. One of the outlets that resurfaced the information was a blog known as Rhymes with Snitch, which reposted an article originally published by Hollywood Street King. That article claimed Jay-Z had allegedly been involved in a secret relationship with Kathy White for quite some time. According to the report, the rumors first started circulating quietly in Hollywood circles. Kathy White was said to be part of the same social circle as television personality Claudia Jordan. In one photograph circulating online at the time, Kathy could allegedly be seen standing close to Jay-Z at an event, appearing far more comfortable in his presence than someone outside his inner circle normally would. To gossip bloggers, that single photo became a major clue suggesting something deeper may have been happening behind the scenes. But what truly fueled speculation was what happened the following year. Not long after the rumors about Kathy and Jay-Z began circulating publicly, Kathy White suddenly died. The official cause of death was listed as a brain aneurysm. Yet many observers weren't convinced by that explanation. Hollywood Street King later published another report claiming the situation might not have been as simple as it appeared. The article described how the blogger began investigating immediately after hearing the news of Kathy's death. According to that report, an NYPD source allegedly told the writer that the cause of death had not yet been confirmed at the time and that authorities were waiting on both autopsy and toxicology results. Because of the circumstances, the death was reportedly being treated as suspicious until further evidence came back. The timeline only made things more chilling. Kathy White died exactly 1 year after the blogger first broke the story about her alleged relationship with Jay-Z. Reports said a 911 call was placed from an apartment on West 19th Street in Manhattan after Kathy became seriously ill. Paramedics arrived and transported her to Beth Israel Hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. At the time, investigators reportedly said it was far too early to declare a brain aneurysm as the cause. Toxicology tests were expected to take weeks, and officials were still working to determine what had truly happened. Even more troubling was another detail that surfaced during the investigation. Just 2 weeks before her death, Kathy had reportedly been contacted by a major tabloid outlet that was looking into the rumors linking her to Jay-Z. According to reports, she allegedly reached out to Jay-Z afterward and told him she was considering going public with their relationship. Then, only a short time later, just days after Beyoncé publicly announced she was expecting a child with Jay-Z, Kathy White suddenly died under circumstances that many people still consider suspicious to this day.
Was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming, and the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand's sake.
As the conversation around all these rumors continued to spiral, some people even began digging into Beyoncé's own music, searching for hidden meanings. One particular moment that resurfaced online was a haunting spoken word segment from one of her tracks, where she delivers a chilling poetic passage about rage, betrayal, and what a woman might be driven to do after discovering her partner's infidelity. The piece, often referred to as the anger interlude, contains imagery so dark that listeners have debated its meaning for years. In the performance, Beyoncé describes an unsettling fantasy, a symbolic vision where she imagines confronting the woman her partner was unfaithful with. The words paint a disturbing picture of revenge and heartbreak, with lines suggesting she could take the other woman's body parts and wear them like trophies if that's what it took to make the cheating stop. When the song originally dropped, most fans interpreted the poem as theatrical storytelling, a dramatic metaphor meant to express the emotional devastation of betrayal. But now, with these resurfacing rumors and conspiracy theories flooding social media, some people have begun revisiting the lyrics with a far more suspicious lens. They're pointing to the dark imagery and asking whether it was simply artistic expression or something deeper hidden in plain sight. Of course, artists have always used exaggerated metaphors to portray pain, anger, and revenge in their music. In the context of the album, the poem was widely understood as part of a larger narrative about heartbreak and healing. Still, the timing of these discussions has only added more fuel to the speculation spreading across the internet. For critics and conspiracy-minded observers, the imagery feels eerily specific. They argue that the words describe a woman consumed by jealousy, imagining extreme revenge against a rival lover, a theme that, in their view, eerily overlaps with the rumors surrounding Jay-Z's alleged relationships outside of his marriage. Supporters of Beyoncé, however, see the interpretation as a massive stretch. To them, the spoken word piece is nothing more than a powerful artistic metaphor, part of a storytelling concept meant to capture the raw emotions many people experience after betrayal. But in the chaotic world of celebrity gossip and internet speculation, symbolism often gets twisted into something much bigger than the artist ever intended. And once a narrative like this starts spreading online, it takes on a life of its own. So while some listeners simply hear poetry and performance, others hear something far darker echoing beneath the surface, another strange piece of a puzzle that many believe is still far from fully revealed. As the conversation around all these rumors continued to spiral, some people even began digging into Beyoncé's own music, searching for hidden meanings. One particular moment that resurfaced online was a haunting spoken word segment from one of her tracks, where she delivers a chilling poetic passage about rage, betrayal, and what a woman might be driven to do after discovering her partner's infidelity. The piece, often referred to as the anger interlude, contains imagery so dark that listeners have debated its meaning for years. In the performance, Beyoncé describes an unsettling fantasy, a symbolic vision where she imagines confronting the woman her partner was unfaithful with. The words paint a disturbing picture of revenge and heartbreak, with lines suggesting she could take the other woman's body parts and wear them like trophies if that's what it took to make the cheating stop. When the song originally dropped, most fans interpreted the poem as theatrical storytelling, a dramatic metaphor meant to express the emotional devastation of betrayal. But now, with these resurfacing rumors and conspiracy theories flooding social media, some people have begun revisiting the lyrics with a far more suspicious lens. They're pointing to the dark imagery and asking whether it was simply artistic expression or something deeper hidden in plain sight. Of course, artists have always used exaggerated metaphors to portray pain, anger, and revenge in their music. In the context of the album, the poem was widely understood as part of a larger narrative about heartbreak and healing. Still, the timing of these discussions has only added more fuel to the speculation spreading across the internet. For critics and conspiracy-minded observers, the imagery feels eerily specific. They argue that the words describe a woman consumed by jealousy, imagining extreme revenge against a rival lover, a theme that, in their view, eerily overlaps with the rumors surrounding Jay-Z's alleged relationships outside of his marriage. Supporters of Beyoncé, however, see the interpretation as a massive stretch. To them, the spoken word piece is nothing more than a powerful artistic metaphor, part of a storytelling concept meant to capture the raw emotions many people experience after betrayal. But in the chaotic world of celebrity gossip and internet speculation, symbolism often gets twisted into something much bigger than the artist ever intended. And once a narrative like this starts spreading online, it takes on a life of its own. So while some listeners simply hear poetry and performance, others hear something far darker echoing beneath the surface, another strange piece of a puzzle that many believe is still far from fully revealed.
If it's what you truly want, I can wear her skin over mine, her hair over mine, her hands as gloves, her teeth as confetti, her scalp a cap, her sternum my bedazzled cane. We can pose for a photograph, all three of us, immortalized. You and your perfect girl.
Now, to be clear, none of these rumors prove that Beyoncé had anything to do with what happened to Rihanna. There is no confirmed evidence tying her directly to the incident. But that hasn't stopped the internet from stitching together its own narrative. The speculation keeps growing because people believe the timeline, the old rumors, and Kanye West's explosive accusations all seem to overlap in ways that feel too strange to ignore. And Kanye's role in all of this is what keeps the conversation alive. Years ago, he openly claimed that Beyoncé and Jay-Z had the power to make problems and even people disappear. At the time, the world mostly shrugged it off as another one of Kanye's unpredictable outbursts. But what makes those statements harder for some people to dismiss is the fact that Kanye wasn't always an outsider looking in. Before everything fell apart, he was extremely close to Jay-Z and Beyoncé. They weren't just industry peers, they were practically family. So when he speaks about them, many believe he might be drawing from experiences most people will never see behind the scenes. That's exactly why his words still echo through these conversations today. If anyone once had access to the inner circle, it would have been him. And now that these rumors are resurfacing again, people are re-examining everything he said with a completely different perspective. Of course, the internet wasted no time reacting. Comment sections exploded with speculation, theories, and heated opinions. One person wrote that they always believed Beyoncé was jealous of Rihanna, but the idea of something violent happening outside Rihanna's home, while children were present, felt especially disturbing to them. Others questioned the timing of everything, pointing out how quickly headlines shifted from the shooting incident to glowing media coverage surrounding Beyoncé. To them, the sudden change in narrative felt suspicious. Whether those suspicions hold any truth is another question entirely. Celebrity culture has always thrived on rumors, rivalries, and larger-than-life drama. Sometimes coincidences get woven together into stories that feel convincing even without real evidence. But that hasn't stopped the theories from spreading. At the center of it all remains one unsettling question. Is Kanye exposing something real, or is this just another internet conspiracy spiraling out of control? Right now, nobody truly knows the answer. But the fact that these accusations continue to circulate shows just how fascinated people are with the secrets hidden behind the walls of the music industry. So, what do you think about all of this? Do you believe there's something deeper going on behind Rihanna's terrifying incident? Or are people reading way too much into the rumors surrounding Beyoncé and Jay-Z? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you think this story is wild, you definitely don't want to miss the next video, because the drama surrounding this entire situation only gets messier from here.